Do you view Vice President JD Vance as your successor, the Republican nominee in 2028?
No.
Damn. For a guy who loves to do the weave, I talk about this, I talk about that, I talk about a hurricane, the light bulbs. No, he was straightforward for the first time in his life. Is he your successor? No. Next question. Actually, could you ask that question again? Because I would really love to throw JD Vance under the bus again. So anyway, I just wish that I could have been there to see it when JD Vance heard it. But unfortunately, we're just gonna have to imagine. And I will multiple times, but I want to give you the full answer. Here's more of what Trump had to say.
No, but he's very capable. I mean, I don't think that I think you have a lot of very capable people. So far, I think he's doing a fantastic job. It's too early, we're just starting.
But by the time you get to the midterms, he's gonna be looking for an endorsement.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that this has been the greatest opening, almost 3 weeks, in the history of the presidency.
Definitely been the fastest and the most stuff happening.
We've done so much, so fast, and we really had to, because they have really, what they've done to our country is so sad, it's so sad. We're gonna be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before.
I don't want to be petty, but I swear to God, they're painting his face darker than they ever have before. It is maddening. He's like 90 years old. Jesus. Anyway, so what's the answer? Okay, so no, but he's really capable and he's doing a hell of a job. I've been paying exhaustive attention to what's going on. I couldn't tell you one thing that JD Vance has done. Elon Musk has done a lot. Donald Trump went golfing and to the Super Bowl. American taxpayers paid the better part of $1 million for that. I don't know about JD Vance though. I'm not sure what he's done. I mean, he did imply that Trump should be king and the judges don't count. Is that what counts as doing a good job? And then you'll notice, what did Trump do after that? He started talking about himself. He had no interest in talking about it, and that is fundamentally what this is about. This clip to me isn't about him saying JD Vance in particular isn't my successor. It's that Trump doesn't care, okay? And Bret Baier, in talking about his discussion with Trump, sort of gets a little bit to that. He said, I think it was a little shocking when he said no. I wasn't expecting that, but following up, it is, first of all, Bret Baier, you are a professional. Stop with the you-knows. Once you get to the midterms, you start to think about 2028. And obviously one would think JD Vance is gonna be trying to position for that role. But clearly the president is not ready to talk about that or think about it, and says that there are other people that may get in the mix, which I'm gonna give my thoughts for a second, but we can bring up, here's polls on who people think could fill that role. It's JD Vance is still a #1. Donald Trump Jr. is in #2, just to give you an idea of the health of the Republican Party. But what I think is really going on here is Donald Trump cannot conceive of a world that exists after he is gone. I mean, everybody has main character syndrome, but nobody has it more than Donald Trump. He can't conceive of a Republican Party that continues after him. You think he wants to give anyone the nod? And so I think there's a little bit of that, the selfishness, the sociopathy. He doesn't care about any other person or what happens to them. But I also think it's a little bit of his parenting style. Like, do you think that he would ever really reassure his sons that he loves? No, he wants to pit them against each other, make them constantly fight for his temporary affection or whatever counts for it. And so this is twisted psychologically, I think, in a lot of different ways, but I do enjoy the damage it's doing to JD Vance's psyche today. David, what do you think about this? And do you have an early prediction as to who that successor might be?
Well, first of all, I think you're spot on. I mean, I think Donald Trump doesn't even want to consider the possibility that he might not run in 2028. He wants to be in perpetuity, be the president of the United States, or have his AI version of himself run the country for the next 200 years. So for him, the idea that he would even think about somebody else is bizarre. What's also interesting, John, is there's some reporting in some conservative circles that the reason that RF Kennedy Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard and Pete Hegseth were able to squeak by in their confirmations so far has been because of the lobbying of JD Vance, that he has leveraged some of his relationships with the Senate to really sort of twist some arms and make the case for them. And what's shocking to me is that if this is in some conservative media circles, what would have stopped Donald Trump from saying, look, I'm not ready to pick a successor yet, but I'm gonna give JD Vance some specific credit. He's done a yeoman's job in trying to talk to members, give him some specifics in terms of what he's done well, as opposed to saying, well, he's doing a great job. The way Donald Trump says general things, platitudes about everything. So yeah, I'd be interested to see where JD Vance's head is right now, and it's probably, he's probably just thinking, I just gotta stand it, just gotta deal with it, just gotta keep my head down, and everything will be fine for him in the future.
I mean, look, maybe for his sake, maybe he won't even see this. Maybe he'll be busy on Twitter running to the defense of people who say that his wife and kids shouldn't be allowed to be American or something. Maybe he's so busy with that, relationshipally cucking himself. Maybe he won't see Donald Trump setting on fire his political aspirations. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.